This is Mornye, and her legs are out of this world. They're these beautiful see-through legs that house some kind of futuristic prosthetic technology. And yes, her feet are part of the package. That aside, I might be absolutely cooked because I find Professor Mornye outrageously attractive, to the point that it's baffling. She is not conventionally hot, so I wouldn't be surprised if you don't feel the same way, but hear me out. After some technical analysis, I think I understand it now. The reasons behind this seemingly irrational level of attraction. Hold that thought for now. First, I downloaded the free model that the game regularly releases with every patch. But loading in the model, the shader didn't really do her justice. Because in the character trailers, cutscenes, and other in-game animations, her legs are a lot more dynamic. The strength and the color of the light change in different situations. Sometimes there's these stars parallaxed onto her legs and or particled, and they have more of this frosted glass look. Now this is actually the perfect opportunity for us because on this channel we can be both down bad and educate ourselves in some 3D at the same time. Let's start by prototyping a better shader for her legs. And I'll work in this down trans material, and I can literally delete all of this except for this image node with down d.png. And this is what it looks like with no alpha. So the first thing I'll do is add a mix shader, bring this here, and add a transparent BSDF. Now the first problem I want to fix is her see-through shoes, because this doesn't make any sense. She has feet under there. So if we can see through it, we should be able to see her feet, but unfortunately they did not include the feet in this model. Boo-hoo! So all I'm gonna do is add a bunch of nodes, and the goal of these nodes is just to limit the transparency above a certain point. In other words, where her shoes are at. Object to vector, vector to vector, Z to factor, color to color. Okay, now I'm gonna tune this. Bringing down this white will bring down the white or transparent area, and bringing this black to the right will bring up the opaque area. Next thing I'm gonna do is add some light edge gradients to give it a little more of a frosted look. So let's do layer weight, just duplicate a color ramp, duplicate the mix shader, add an emission, take this facing and put it into factor. Let's put color of this into factor, and let's put emission for the other shader. We add that persistent like edge glow. We don't want it to be this strong because we want to give it like a frosted look. Adjusting this to be more on gray, we'll turn some of that down, and then we can even change the color. Okay, if I move this back here, it'll make it a softer gradient. Newer versions of Blender, it's not easy to add the bloom on. You have to go into compositing. Okay, and let's add bloom. And let's just say 8. So turn that down. We'll find these inner parts. They're in cloth jewel and cloth leg band. And I'm just gonna be diabolical and do the same thing. Remove everything except the base texture. Add an emission and turn up the strength. No, screw the texture. Yeah, let's just do that. It went orange once in the game. I remember that. So that's cloth leg band, then cloth jewel. Boom, emission, boom. Does it look better and dithered? Yeah, kinda does. And then a couple other things that we can do is if we want the star parallax effect, we can just grab any star texture, and it could be either transparent or black on the background. So I have one here, very simple. Let's just do a mix color, plug it in, turn factor to 1, and do add, so that only the light parts get added onto it. And there you go. You got some simple star details. Oh, and for those of you that got a little blue balled by the, the no feet on the Mornye model, I got you. Okay, moving on. I think another strong point of Mornye's aesthetic is her hair, which at first I thought it was kind of weird. I thought it looked like a jellyfish or something, but she's got the short style going on and the long style, so it's like the best of both worlds. It's got the cuteness of the short hair and the gracefulness of the long hair. I think it pops more in game, but there's also this very subtle iridescent effect. Like you could see it here, like here in the middle. And it's simple to replicate on top of the base hair gradients. You just add a streak of yellow and a streak of purple, it looks like. Then turn it down and change the blend mode to overlay. Again, very subtle, but it's small touches like this that completes the look. To complement this effect, she's also got those moving mid-hair highlights that have this rainbow iridescent effect, but it's not present in the MMD model, you just get these static highlights. This is my rough guess of how it works. It's a procedurally generated highlight with some noise to create those jagged edges. The highlight can be manipulated to travel up and down the UV of the hair mesh, and have it parallax across a colorful gradient. This node setup is too much of a pain to explain, but feel free to copy it and let me know if you're interested into diving into this further in a future video. Uncovering the outers provides some interesting details. Looks like Professor's been doing some ab raises. That's good for her. Someone's like, why is there a barcode here? You guys are actually crazy for asking that. And someone else said self-checkout. Stop. Don't be too sad about this part. There's nothing there anyways. They left an Easter egg in here though. So if we take off her shorts or hide them, you can see the structure of her prosthetics. So you can see exactly where her legs are implanted in. At least that's my theory, because usually 3D models won't include this. If it's behind the shorts and the skirt, there's no reason for it to be like left in the model if it's fully occluded. But they left them in for Mornye. So you know exactly which parts are all natural. Anyways, I think I finally figured out why Mornye is so unexpectedly attractive. I think it has a little to do with how she's so frail, like how she just loses energy after some certain combos. And this not only makes her relatable in a world where like 99% of the cast is just stacked in terms of physical power, but it also just makes you want to give her a piggyback ride.
What?
Another thing it might be is just the entire geeky, nerdy vibe that she's got going on. One thing that's particularly hot is how she doesn't have to look at her keyboards when she's typing sometimes. Look at this, she's pressing behind her. She's got muscle memory. Oh, on top of that, Mornye is just really cute. She's got that sweet smile, gentle expressions, and she looks good when she's pissed or when she's serious. The whole bang covering one eye thing also really works out, with that striking magenta iris providing a nice accent for her aesthetic. But you know, on a real note, a part of it just has to be sheer admiration. How she presses forward despite the obstacles that she was born with. How she's moving with all this bravado, knowing full well that she's gonna get folded like a pancake. How she uses intellect and technology to make up for what she lacks in other areas. It's quite a unique charm, and admittedly, she's not for everyone. But she is for me. Thank you so much, my goats, for watching this technical and somewhat biased review of Mornye's character model. I do a ton of 3D model analysis on my channel. You can go check those out if you want. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there and have yourselves a good night.